flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, one and all. It's good to see you all here. Our first item of business is to hear from the Dickinson County Museum. Mary?
First question for all of you is, how many of you have been to the Dickinson County Museum in the last 5 years? Yay. I'll come back to that question in just a minute. Have you had a chance to read the letter that I wrote?
Oh,
Yeah, okay, I'll just do a few. You need some? I'm just gonna twist this the other way and see if maybe that helps not be so quick. In the past year, we've had two really big projects that have come to a completion. One is an 11-stall parking lot in the front of our building, which is enabling us to welcome visitors safely and securely into the building. In the past, when school buses came, they had to park out in the middle of a busy Keokuk Avenue and let out the kids, and it was not a good situation. And many of our visitors had to cross the icy street to come into the building. Well, now that's done. We've employed a really good snow removal service, and it is working like a charm. We don't have to watch at the window to go up and help people come in anymore. We're really grateful for that. That was 100% grant funded. Steve's Depot is our big deal. This is the renovation that we did in the past year of our 1884 depot. I can't even begin to describe what a change that is making to the building and to the people of the community. Our school visits have already increased dramatically. Sunday, we welcomed folks in on a Sunday afternoon to talk about communications. We had a real live telegrapher come and show kids how to use the telegraph keys, the typewriter, different messaging things. The response has been overwhelming to this project. The project focuses on not only the railroads of the area in the early days, it also focuses on the formation of the county in the early days. And we do highlight each and every community in the county throughout this. It's a highly interactive, professionally created, professionally built project like you would see in the big cities. And it is driving more. It is and will continue to drive more folks into the museum and into the area. This transformative $250,000 project was entirely funded by grants and donations. And I might add, it came in under budget, which was a surprise, a very nice surprise. We've expanded our work throughout the county. We intentionally visit 3 different care facilities in the county on a monthly basis, providing educational programming. Folks at the care facilities are really interested in the history of the area. And so now, instead of just facilitating conversation groups at the care facilities, we actually provide educational programming. And it's going really well. Way back when, our weekly conversation group on Wednesday mornings consistently has between 14 and 18 people that come every week to talk about the way things used to be. We reach out to all sorts of different organizations and also participate with other organizations in their activities. We also provide leadership for the Lakes Area Museum Alliance, which is going gangbusters, I might add, and is actually the only alliance of museums in the state of Iowa. We're breaking new ground on this, and it's being noticed. We've been doing a really good job of obtaining private and grant funding for capital projects. That said, we're still seeing inflationary pressure on operating expenses, especially in the area of utilities, insurance, and wages. With increased traffic and the opening of Steve's Depot, we've expanded operating hours, resulting in the need for increased year-round staffing. While we've greatly diversified our funding base, we do count heavily on support from the county for our basic operating expenses. With expected inflationary increases in insurance, utilities, and wages, Along with increased hours of operation and service to the county, we're requesting county funding of $50,000 for the 2027 fiscal year. We appreciate your support. And I just would like to add, I was thinking on my way here, when I began in 2021, the annual budget for the museum was $24,500. And 100% of that came from the Board of Supervisors. The budget is now around $100,000, and we're requesting 50% of that funding. We've been able to increase our funding sources from many, many different avenues to enable us to do the work that we're doing. How many of you would like to come and see the museum now? We'd love to welcome you in, and I'd be happy to set up a tour just for you guys to come and push some buttons and see how steam engines work. So, any questions? Nope. If not, thank you again for your continued support. You make history come to life.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Right, next, YMCA. Are you gonna do the song?
I'm not gonna do the song.
Oh.
As a 20-year professional
You're
of
slipping.
that organization, I'm not the biggest fan of the village people or the. No, thank you guys for letting me come in here today. And again. Great. So here today, obviously is an extension of our request that we originally made to you a couple of years ago regarding the Igniting a Healthy Legacy campaign. Those of you who are newer to the board, just as a quick refresh, we embarked on a large-scale campaign to revitalize some infrastructure for Camp Foster as well as Del Family YMCA, as well as set up the organization to be more sustainable long-term. As a nonprofit, there is the need for fundraising and need for support to advance our mission, but we also have to be self-sustaining. And that was the ultimate goal of getting into that. And through that endeavor, we embarked on a campaign that we thought was going to be about $7.5 million that through some changes over the course of time and blessings from some other things, it's totaled about $10.8 million. And so we appreciate the support that the county showed us. Through that project, we originally requested $100,000 from the county to be spread out over 5 years, and that's where today we're asking for $20,000 as a continuation of that 5-year request. You doing so, although your gift substantial equates to 1% of the overall campaign, it unlocked a lot of avenues for us to receive funding through Enhance Iowa and a number of other entities through grant funding because we had strong municipal support from you, City of Spirit Lake, and other municipalities. And so thank you for that. And along with that, I included a couple of updates and statistics in regards to the organization. A lot of times people ask, questions about how many people go to Camp Foster, how many people utilize our facilities. Just a couple things to factor in here. In the summer, we see an influx of people come in, and we feel that not only through Camp Foster, that is our bread and butter time at Camp Foster. We're one of the few entities that bring people into town on Sundays while everybody else is leaving. And when we do check in, some hotels, are very supportive of us because that's night when Camp Foster is a sole reason why they have Sunday night stayers, as opposed to people checking out on Sunday and having those vacant. This summer, we had our largest camping season since pre-pandemic, which is exciting as things are changing with staffing as well as people getting a little more normalcy. And so just under 2,400 campers overall, also serving a number of groups, a lot of different entities through that program space out there on East Lake Okoboji. The Del Family YMCA had our largest attendance this year that we've ever had in the organization's history. I looked as of the end of November, just under 165,000 people have walked through our doors and actually checked in and or bought a day pass or things of that nature. We know we have way more than that with swim meets and basketball and different things of that nature, but I would just say, one, you guys were a big part of making those entities possible in the beginning, and they continue to be a part of the quality of life here. And so appreciate your support there. Also just included our annual report from 2024, just for some other aspects there, but The work that you guys do in supporting other organizations obviously enhances us. The support you give the Rides organization is impactful for us, for them to be able to provide transportation to the YMCA after school, where we have nearly 80 kids on a daily basis coming to programs from our school districts through those supports and things as well. And so happy to answer any questions. I don't want to bore you with statistics, but you can see how many members we have, where they comprise from. We do serve our whole county, but we are also a place where we have a lot of visitors that utilize our.
I guess I'd just like to comment, I think one of the best things you do is offer after school, and Rides provides a transportation for that.
Yeah, there's a after school program in Vidal through sports, swim team, other things like that, where there's things there, but then also through both school districts, we have after school care at both Spirit Lake and Okoboji for those services as well. And so the two-prong attack in regards to that, providing opportunities for families. But thank you.
What are your current charges for like basketball, soccer, and
So in terms of pricing off the top of my head of what they cost, I don't want to actually like give you a number to say it's going to be in the ballpark of around $50 or something like that for a 8-week season. And so I couldn't tell you the exact number off the top of my head. They're all a little different for various reasons.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you,
Andrew.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Can I just add something to what he said about his programs? They have scholarships too for those kids that can't afford the $50. So they hit a lot of, I mean, they're doing a lot for our kids across the county. I wish we would have had the YMCA when my kids were in those younger age groups. So thank you.
Appreciate you saying that part. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Next up, Susan.
I'm next.
See you.
I'll make this short, sweet for you. Not real much sweet, but it will be short. That was spring paperwork. You get our entire budget. You see our past spending. We have nothing to hide. We will lay it all out for you. Okay. So I'm here to request our annual giving that you have provided with us for a couple of years, and we appreciate that. We continue to make repairs. As you know, we have a 20+ old building out there, and every year something else goes wrong. This last year, our biggest event that we had, we purchased a skid loader. We had some snow removal issues, and so now with that skid loader, we're doing much better there. And we find that it moves dirt, gravel, and manure when it's time to be at the fair. So that helps there. We are just about ready to announce our Dixon County Fair Board Charitable Trust, which we feel will give people a better way to contribute to the Fair Board and their activities. So we're hoping for that. And as always, we continue to be your election headquarters. And I believe that we are also the emergency management area in case of disaster in this county. We are happy to accommodate whatever you guys need. If you have any questions, pretty well you can review our budget. And if you do, feel free to call. But I'll try to answer anything right now too.
How are the numbers for 4-H kids holding?
They're down slightly, but then again, when we say that, we look at like over 100 goats. You know, we got a lot of goats, we got a lot of chickens. We're seeing more of the urban kids taking advantage of that. The Beef Buddies program had over 50 little kids with their big buddies out there, and it's holding its own, maybe a little bit. I mean, the cow numbers, the calf, steer, beef numbers are down, of course, you know, and that varies with the price of what kids have to pay for an animal. But overall, the fair, we have a good working fair board that continues to find activities and add events that will draw more people into it. Our calendar is pretty well full for the next year. I think we have 7 or 8 wedding receptions. Otherwise, every weekend is full with something, which is good. No questions? Okay. All right. Oh, go ahead.
You wanna know?
I don't have anything off the top of my head, no.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
right, thank you. Is Jared here?
I just have the sheet for it.
Okay,
So they would like to hire Mary Carlson as a part-time dispatcher with a starting date of December 10th with a starting salary at $29.30 per hour. And this position is filling a vacancy.
Motion to approve.
thank you, Kim.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none, Kim?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Levi?
Aye.
Mr. Dullard?
Aye.
And Bill,
Bill, I apologize. I told Colin to be here at 9:30, thinking that the first three would take a little bit longer, so. If you want to go down to number 8 and 9 till he gets here.
we could do that. All right, item number 8 is the approval of December 2nd, 2025 board meeting minutes. Did anyone see anything wrong on those?
Make a motion to accept.
Thank you, Mr. Dullard.
I'll second.
Thank you, Levi. Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Dullard.
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Aye. And Bill is aye. Number 9 is the approval of the claims. Does anyone have any questions on the claims?
Motion to approve the claims.
Okay, Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Kim seconds to approve the claims. Is there any discussion on those? Hearing none, Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Kim.
Aye.
Mr. Dullard,
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill is up. And we have some drainage claims to approve. We have a stamped warrant DD 5, branch 126, the Carney Concrete for $11,590, which was to remove a box culvert. And then we've got Jacobson Westergaard for $1,546.35.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Levi seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
Mr. Dullard.
Aye.
Kim.
Aye.
And Bill is aye. The next one is stamped warrant Drainage District 19 to Beck Engineering for $127.50 for engineering expenses.
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Kim moves, Mr. Dullard seconds. Further discussion?
Did you say that was for the 127.50?
Yes.
Did you also do the 31.76?
No, it's not on our sheet.
You said for DD 19, right?
DD 19.
Apologies, add that one on there too, if that's okay, in the amount of $3,176 for DD 19. I think that one just came in late. Is what happened.
What was that for?
Engineering,
Okay. And the Beck Engineering,
yep,
okay,
or sorry, no, sorry, ISG.
ISG.
That's nice. You want to do those separate, or you want me to amend my motion?
I think it should be amended.
I will take back my other motion. I'll amend this motion to include this last 3,117.
Mr. Dullard,
I'll agree with that.
okay. Is there further discussion on that then with the addition? Hearing none, Kim,
Aye.
Mr. Dollard.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill is aye. The next one is stamped warrant DD 25 for branch 48-9 to Jacobson Westergaard for $172.50 for engineering.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Mr. Dollard seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Mr. Dollard.
Aye.
Kim.
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill is aye. Our second to the last is stamped warrant for DD Joint 61, Branch 399, all the lands in Dickinson County. First of all is Jacobson Westergaard for $5,411.15.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Kim seconds. Further discussion.
Do you also have the one for Goodwood Law Office?
We'll get to.
Okay. Well, you combined the other two.
Relax.
I usually do the motions together, so it's easier for me.
So what happens if someone doesn't blow on it? See?
Well, you combined the other two together.
Okay, as there is no sensible discussion. Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Kim,
Aye.
Mr. Dollard,
Aye.
Levi,
Aye.
and Bill is aye. Now, we also have one from Goodwin Law Office on that same drainage district in Vermont for the amount of $562.50. Legal advice.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Kim seconds. Further discussion?
The same motion as the first one.
Hearing none. Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Kim,
Aye.
Mr. Dollard,
Aye.
Levi,
Aye.
and Bill is aye. And lastly, stamped warrant, Drainage District, Joint 61, Branch 399 West, W-46, all land in Dickinson County to Jacobson Westergaard for $649.60.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Clark moves.
I'll second.
Mr. Dollard seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Mr. Dollard,
Aye.
Levi,
Aye.
Kim,
Aye.
and Bill is aye. Okay, we may as well go on to item number 12, general discussion, board and committee reports. Tim?
Last week, I attended the local emergency planning committee meeting down in Spencer. We reviewed and discussed the hazard mitigation plans and hazmat trainings that are going on within our region. We're working with fire departments as well on how to handle those things. Discuss funding for the trainings. The federal government's a little behind on their funding, so we're all trying to hang on where we go forward, but we're in that battle. And I just want to say Mike Arrett does a great job as our emergency project manager and is well respected within our region. On Friday, I attended the Iowa Drainage District Association meeting in Fort Dodge, as did Levi and Mr. Dullard. We attended the annual business meeting as well as the administrative session. You'll be happy to know that the legislative concerns include discussions about abstracts now addressing properties that are in drainage districts. In fact, Senate File 593 addresses that. They still are having some challenges though with communication between the recorder's office and the auditor's office, but they're working through that and they realize that, but at least they're moving forward to realize that somebody's got to know that the property they're purchasing is in a drainage district rather than it being a shock, which we've dealt with that for years. I also talked about dealing with railroads. There's a shock, just like we're doing in DD 61. We're hearing the same thing all over the state. It's challenges with the railroads. We heard from Iowa Secretary of Ag, Mike Nag. Good guy. I think he's doing a good job for us. He talked about the challenging times for ag businesses, which we know that it is. we also talked about practices of nitrogen efficiency through drainage and conservation practices, and they're trying to push as many of those things. And it's not like there's one or two, they had hundreds of them across the state that they're attempting to make work, because we understand we don't want to continue to push nitrogen, phosphorus to other waterways. Attended the Silver Lake Park Improvement Meeting this morning. They continue to provide lakeshore restoration grants to folks who are landowners on the lake. A lot of folks are really participating with that. They continue to want to work on wetland projects. There's a water basin that they'd love to be able to get done, but it's a challenge to sometimes get landowners to want to do that. They also are really looking at a push on what to do for their membership to get obviously more folks involved as members, but also to have an interest in what's going on with Silver Lake. Otherwise, I think they're doing really well. We continue to push for fish barriers over there, which I think we're in the final stages of getting that done, would make a huge impact there. I also want to remind everybody, I will be gone next week. I'm having surgery, so yay, I'm finally getting to the point where we can get things done. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dollard.
Yes, sir. Thursday, I attended the Atlas auction, see how that was going and to participate. Friday, as Kim said, we attended the meeting in Fort Dodge with the IDDA. Last night, attended the Board of Adjustments, which was very lengthy, pretty long.
Kind of normal.
Yes, sir. And then, as I'm sure all of you did, we met with Bill Ludwig about initial stuff for the planning. And that concludes the week, but it looks like a pretty busy week this week.
Mr. Clark.
I also attended the Atlas fundraiser of last Thursday. Friday, I had planned on going to the drainage district meeting, but plans changed. I had come in and have a meeting with Mr. Leopold and Mr. Goodlow. I also attended the kickoff for the 2026 Winter Games apparel sales at Westover. I forced myself to go and attend it, but you can see I bought a nice vest from them. So that kicks off their official sales campaign for the Winter Games. Yesterday, I met with Ms. Cardell, Ms. McKim, Mr. Goodlow, and William Ludwig to discuss the county land use plan and master land use plan. And it just reinforced to me that there was an old saying that I grew up hearing, and they stressed it in college and everywhere else, that if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And we've got a wonderful area here, and I think for too long we have tried to maybe keep things just the way they were, and we run into problems, whether it be through planning and zoning or working with other municipalities and so on. And I think that, if we can move this forward, if we can get the other municipalities involved in it, and we can come together with a list of common goals and sight, unfortunately, we can't, I started being up around the lakes here when there were all the little cottages and stuff like that. Money has driven that, and it's not going to be the way it was 50 years ago. Things are changing in the whole state. People want different recreation than what they did back then. They're looking for different opportunities. They don't want to go stay in a little cabin for a week, to get away from it all. They want to go stay in nice places. Whether we agree with that or not, that's the way it's moving. So it becomes inherent to us to adapt our vision for the county to that, so that we can do it the right way. Talking with Mr. Ludwig, that really brought that to the forefront yesterday, that, without the right vision, we'll be floundering. I've watched over the years so many times, and one of them that comes to mind is the Chalstrom Beach area. you know, when we first, I can remember when all that was a few little trailers here and there and when they sold that property and tore it down and wanted to build condominiums there, oh, people just, they were really upset, but that's progress, whether you like it or not. And just letting things happen, I think has become a burden to the county instead of, you know, and the municipalities. I think that we need to get together and share in this and create a vision that will enhance and bring not only more housing development, maybe more industrial or, you know, light industrial, things like that to the area, so people have jobs and you know, we can build housing and people can afford to live in the area. So I thought that was a really good session. I look forward to moving forward with that with the municipalities and with the Iowa Great Lakes Sanitary District and see what we can accomplish. I hope everybody else that attended, you know, that felt the same way. Last night I had the Conservation Foundation meeting. They're moving ahead with their plans for doing the playscape out at the nature center, the nature playscape. They're kind of they're stymied a little bit with Olson and Associates on getting that wrapped up. I'm sure Mr. Goodlow could attest to that. But we'll move it, you know, things will keep moving and we'll get it worked out. So this week coming up this afternoon, we have township trustees at 1:30.
The 1:30?
I have 1:30.
Yeah.
Okay. If not, I'll be a half hour late.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get down to, if that's done in time, I'm gonna try to get down to the Iowa Great Lakes Sanitary District meeting at 3. Tonight at 5:30 is the Arnold Park City Council and then at 7 is Dickinson County Conservation. And tomorrow I'm signed up for the Ehlers and Cooney training meeting. I know some of you have already done that. I will get my mandatory training done. And next Monday, I believe, is P&Z
At 1.
at 1. So
Very good.
that's it. And I see Collins here.
He is. Would you like to enlighten us, Colin?
Sure, I'll try. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was with Drainage District 48. So I think maybe the last time we talked about DD 48 was in regards to a temporary tile connection in there. This is somewhat related to that, but it ties back to the time before that we talked about DD 48, which was following the flooding in June of 2024. If you recall, there was pretty significant flooding in that area. Cables trading posts, I think, had water in the building and different stuff like that. What came out of that was, okay, we need to look at, you know, could we possibly incorporate a pond or something to hold back some water? That there was the land that would have gone on. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I'm trying to lead to where we're at today. The land that the pond would have gone on, we reached out to the landowner. She had passed away, and then it was in the process of being sold. So there was a significant amount of time before the new owner took over, and then had some conversations with them about possibly doing a pond. There wasn't a lot of interest there. And one thing about doing a pond is what we would be hoping for is outside funding to pay for that. So like maybe IDALS, Iowa Department of Ag and Land Stewardship, would help pay for that so that the drainage district wouldn't have to pay for it. But one of the requirements with all of that is that it's got, you can't force it on somebody. And so a drainage district actually really can't sign up for that themselves. So this landowner would have had to volunteer to do that. There just wasn't much interest in a pond. So anyways, then this spring, or I guess in June, when some of that private tile stuff was going on, in talking with the contractor, there's a culvert, and that, Jordan, I don't know if you could pull up that map. There's a culvert along the bike trails and or old railroad bed on the west side of East Lake Okoboji. That's just south of DD 48. So it's actually not, it really shouldn't have anything to do with DD 48. But the contractor had noted that the water was obstructed from, so water's supposed to flow from west to east towards East Lake Okoboji. Yeah, it's okay. She's pulling it up. And it was obstructed, like the west side of that culvert was blocked with material and stuff. And it didn't just look like stuff that had washed in there. It looked like somebody had placed it there on purpose to block the water, to block the flow through that culvert. So they moved that stuff out of there, and then they came back, I think it was maybe like a week later, and some of that was started to get put back again. So that's kind of the main crux of what we're talking about today. And the reason is even though that culvert is outside of DD 48, what we found is if water backs up behind that culvert, it'll pond up, and it doesn't even have to get that deep, and it'll jump over a hill into DD 48. And I believe that's what happens when it gets bad in DD 48, is it backs up on there and jumps into DD 48, jumps over the old bike trail and railroad bed into the city of Spirit Lake's lime pits, floods those, and then it all happens fast once it starts dumping. And then that's where you get this river of water coming out down by cables and some of the residences there towards East Lake Okoboji. There was evidence too where that spot where I said it could jump into DD 48, like washing a little bit. You could see on aerial photography that there's evidence that did happen. So drainage law in Iowa, I mean, it's illegal to block. You can't block a culvert. And so a thought, I don't know who did it, but a thought was on behalf of DD 48 to have a letter that's sent out to, most likely it's somebody in that area who's trying to protect their property or house from flooding. So they want to hold the water back behind on the west side of the railroad bed. And so if we have Drainage District 48 send a letter out to different people in that area, letting them know, hey, we found that this was obstructed. That's not legal. And it caused all this, it possibly caused all this damage, or it contributed to it at a minimum in DD 48, and don't do that anymore. And we'll be watching to make sure that it doesn't get blocked again. That's kind of we've got a letter drafted, sent it out. I don't know if you've looked at it, but that's kind of what it says in a nutshell.
Are we sure this isn't the Beavers? We have a subcommittee and you could go out and investigate.
Yeah.
I know you're interested.
not
I know you're
appear
interested
to
in that
be-
type of mammal.
It did not appear to be beaver related activity.
Is this something that you would be able to put up a trail cam. I mean, I understand we're gonna send a letter out, but I don't think anything has made anybody heed activity to this point. And so the only way to find someone would be to either to be able to put a trail cam or something that could watch that area, or is that not feasible?
I don't know.
I mean,
the
I don't
rules
know how else you're gonna,
of
I don't know how
that.
else
It's
you're gonna.
county,
find it.
it's county property.
I thought we did for repairs for the bike trail in that area.
Well, I believe it's currently been all cleaned out.
Yeah,
Was there a culvert or a drainage tile underground too that was affected by this?
yeah, that, there was a tile through the railroad that was in disrepair, it was busted. And that was part of the temporary tile connection,
Mhm.
was to allow that to drain down so that they could make those repairs and not be in a whole bunch of water. And my understanding is those repairs have been made, and Jeff, maybe you could.
Yeah, I think that's all been done.
Yeah.
So, it's really hard you can't police everybody all the time. I kind of agree with Colin, and a letter meaning maybe explaining this to the residents that are in close proximity to that area. I understand people want to protect their homes from water rushing across and stuff, but the drainage law says you can't change the drainage or block it. So I think maybe to start with, a letter would be about, excuse me, about all we could do, and maybe police it a little bit more, as far as just checking on it once in a while to make sure that they haven't started doing that, unless it becomes a real problem again. But, possibly by maybe just informing them ahead of time would change their plans.
Would it make more sense to have an ad in local paper? Because you don't know exactly who to target here.
Right.
But it's a problem countywide. I mean,
Well,
let people know it's illegal to block culverts.
that may be okay. I don't know how many people actually read papers or shoppers anymore. So much is going online, digital and everything, and we could do that. But I still think that a letter to the surrounding neighborhood, that's the most likely,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
people that are gonna come in and, if they have a bunch of black branches blow down off their tree and stuff, and instead of disposing of them, yeah, I can stick them back in that, nobody will ever see them back in that culvert or that, water pass through, and we could do both, but, I think it needs to go to the area residents that,
And perhaps our website.
yeah, so.
I think this is more than just branches being blown down. I think it's a concerted
I
effort.
understand there
Stop
were a
water
few
flow.
tires and everything else
I don't
like
think
that
a
in
letter
there.
is gonna stop that.
You know.
Sorry, I don't
Well,
think it's gonna stop.
It's not gonna stop it, but if at some point you figure out who is doing
And
this,
how do you intend to do that?
I don't know.
That's why I asked if we
But
could,
you've,
if you can put a trail cam, you're gonna have some idea of what you're tracking. If you think that one of our county people is gonna run out there and catch them doing it,
No,
it
it's
ain't
not gonna
happening.
happen.
Ain't
I
happening.
have full
No.
faith in Jeff.
Many times we rely on
Others.
people's sensibilities,
I remember a stop sign issue that kept disappearing, and until they put up a trail cam, that stopped.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying to you. So
You know,
if you wanna just do a letter, that's okay. I think that more needs to be done, or we're just flapping our lips.
okay,
Sorry.
I've happened recently for another citizen had to do some research about trail cams on their property.
Mhm.
And we can put the trail cam on our property as long as we're not, looking at somebody's bathroom window or something. If we're point it right at that culvert, and the cam's on our county property, that's well within our right to do so. So. For what it's worth,
It's a
someone
suggestion. It's a suggestion.
How many people out there know about drainage law?
Well, it's not so much about drainage law, it's just It's just, they know the county's gone out and cleaned it out
Yep,
and then they put it back. So they know we don't want the debris or whatever in there.
Mhm.
They're aware of that. So.
Is there?
I'm not opposed to it. I just,
I know, and I get what you're saying. I wish it was as easy as I saw that, but if I'm the landowner who's removing that material, I'm doing it to protect my property. And
Mhm.
just me sending a letter to remind me that, I'm still gonna protect my property. And I'm just trying to find out who it is.
yeah,
That's all.
In addition to the trail cam, is there, and if we send a letter out to everybody, can we incentivize? Hey, if maybe you realize it's your neighbor, you can anonymously let us know that it's your neighbor.
I don't know if I like that, because
You
somebody,
have to have proof.
yeah, well. I think the note, I really like what Colin's trying to do with the, put people on notice not to do it anymore. I like that. The other language, I don't know.
Along those lines, in the draft letter, I had a sentence that says, okay. On behalf of DD 48, we ask that you do not obstruct the culvert described in this letter. And that if you have any knowledge of its prior or future obstruction, you report it to the Dickinson County Attorney or one of the Dickinson County Supervisors who act as trustees for the district. DD 48 will be regularly monitoring the culvert to ensure it is not obstructed in the future.
Yeah, now that you read that, I did read that.
yeah. I think that's a good place to start. If it continues,
Okay.
we may have to,
I've made my concerns known.
That's where we give you duly noted.
Yes. The letter is a must.
yeah, the letter's a must, and I think it needs to be done, and I like the way you had it worded, Colin, so.
Is
The
if the
person may
letter,
come
would
back
that
to us
come
and say, what am
from,
I supposed to?
would that come from the board? I didn't know if it should come from the county attorney or the board as trustees for the district. That was a question.
It can go under our letterhead if you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
that puts a little more
It does. Agree.
emphasis behind it, so, yeah.
I think we should have a motion on all of this.
Would you wanna get me the list of landowners that we should?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. And I don't know if is there any input from the board on how far we go? I don't think it's necessary to send 50 letters out.
No, I think that's probably
Nothing, or-
maybe a dozen at the most.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, I can get you that.
If you wanna just send me that letter with your letterhead on it,
Did I
then
have that letter yet?
Yes, I think
Okay.
you were copied on.
Okay, was that last week?
Last week. yeah.
Okay. I'll find it and copy and paste Colin. I'll find it.
I don't know if we would be able to have discussion on it, but the emails back and forth with, the tiling issue with the letter needed to be sent for those funds to be approved, that you were on the email for Hanby.
that's a different issue.
Okay,
We'll deal with the letter first.
okay.
So if you wish to make a motion on all this?
I'll make a motion that, the county attorney send a letter that, Colin has drafted to landowners that we determine, or property owners that we determine might be affecting this situation.
I'll second that.
Mr. Clark moves, Kim has seconded, further discussion? Mr. Dillard?
So like that trophy, am I? That's
I
all.
want to send Levi's Beavers to build dams around these houses.
You're right, I have it.
It's a first good step.
Yeah,
We,
Yeah.
we know what to do next if
Yeah.
it doesn't.
If it continues, we'll take the next step, so.
If there is no further discussion, Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Kim,
Aye.
Mr. Dillard,
aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill is aye.
Thing I had, I'll just That's what you got. You got the DD6 report. Like you think,
I do.
okay. And I've got 2026, if you're interested, there's these pocket calendars.
Thank you, Ken, sir.
That time of year.
Helen,
So with drainage district number 6, a request for repairs was submitted in November. And basically, if you look in this report, it got the primary location of concern was these pictures on the second page showed it. And basically, it's the very upper end of the drainage district 6 main open ditch. And the repair request says that the head wall's gone and it's at the upper end's washed out. If you remember DD 41, there was a similar issue there. This is not as bad. That was really, really bad. This one, the adjacent land doesn't have to drop as quickly into the ditch. So it took, there was a clean out project like 15 years ago, and there's a picture of the head wall at that time, which look at that picture, it was pretty useless already then. And it was taken out as part of that project and replaced with, they just replaced the tile outlet with the corrugated metal pipe, but they didn't handle how you get surface runoff into the ditch itself. So there's been some erosion, some has washed out. So we did a quick write-up here, and luckily the day before Thanksgiving, we went and did some survey in the open ditch to get an idea of how much silt's in there, because the tile outlet is actually buried, it's submerged. There's enough silt that's filled in the ditch that tile is actually underneath the bottom of the ditch, and you can see it kind of bubbling up out of the ground. And so what we found with that survey is that at the very upper end, there's about 3 feet of material that needs to be removed to get the ditch back to its design bottom elevation and allow that tile to be able to freely outlet into the ditch. So we've got repairs proposed and a half mile of ditch clean out. So we checked the first mile, and basically after the first half mile, it kind of progressively, there's less and less silt accumulation. A lot of it just was deposited in that upper extents of the ditch. So we're do a half mile of ditch clean out, put a new tile outlet in, and then put some fill in to fix the area that it washed out, and then put riprap over it. It's not a huge drop. So it's kind of a miniature version of the rock chute that we did for DD 41. DD 41 had about 2,000 acres draining to that one spot. This has 300. And it's not as much of a drop. So we don't have to go to that level, but putting some riprap down to help stabilize where the surface water enters the ditch should be enough. Estimated cost overall $52,000, and it is a repair. So what the code says is if you're over $50,000, then you are required to have a hearing on the matter. So that's part of today, just filing this report with what we found and our recommendations, and then have a hearing set up. Any questions at this point?
Give a date, Jordan.
January 20th at 9 a.m.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the DD6 engineers report and set the public hearing for January 20th at 9 a.m.
Okay, Kim has moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Dullard has seconded. Is there further discussion? As there is none, Kim,
Aye.
Mr. Dullard,
Aye.
Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill is aye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'll be back again before Christmas, so if not.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
January 20th.
Bill, give me just a second, quick, I just gotta.
And all this is rendezvous.
Uh-huh.
Good.
You're gonna change my mind.
Oh,
Effective date.
Sure. I just, they were supposed to meet with him yesterday.
Right.
Thought I'd go
Oh,
and see him.
Lord.
That's good this week.
That's fine.
Zach is
I think. it-
refreshing, quite frankly. We have a case,
After.
zoning case against. I got the terms, we don't have coverage, which is fine. So.
You probably, you don't have those anyway. do you?
Don't make it, we'll get an answer on file.
It's
And
spring.
those deadlines were coming up.
Well,
Because
it's
we were
my
waiting to see if ICAP was just gonna take it over.
Yeah, that's the regular, that's
I got a hold of the attorney on the other side of the
8:30
city, and they said, hey, give us this week. Answer file,
Thursday.
give us rolling. She said, okay,
she has her breakfast.
so. Pretty sure I told Zach, I
Okay, now that George.
prepared the
back,
answer
we
that
can
I had to give
continue.
you. And about 4 o'clock.
What happened last week?
In my office.
Last week, Thursday, I had my DCAT and ECI meeting. Partly. We did find out that we are being dissolved. The ECI board is being dissolved. Our last meeting will be the first week in January and then dissolved on, I think, the 14th, they said. Each public health is gonna set up their own contracts with the state, so they're still gonna be able to service their clients, but they're no longer going to be. The best I could understand to get caught up was that, again, with all the changes going on at the state level, there was a lack of communications. Seemed like maybe the ball was dropped. The right questions weren't being asked or being answered, and there's some frustration, and there was nothing illegal that was happening. There was some bad reporting, it sounded like, with reports not matching up and being compliant with what the state had expected or wanted, but through different meetings and a director resigning and all kinds of things, they've decided that we're no longer going to be a board. And so the DCAT will still meet quarterly, but ECI is going to be done. And then I went to the drainage meeting on Friday in Fort Dodge with Kim and Mr. Dullard. And this week so far, I met with Bill Ludwig yesterday with Mr. Dullard. And just to kind of echo what Mr. Clark had been saying about being proactive and big vision type stuff and getting all the municipalities on the same page. I thought it was good to hear. He seemed to be very excited and confident with the project, and I was pleased with what he had presented. I did go to the Board of Adjustment meeting last night for a little over an hour. I was there out of interest of the RV park, which is the fourth item on the agenda, so I was here for that. And then I plan to be here for the township meeting. And Friday I have a trails meeting and then the Ehlers and Cooney mandatory Zoom meeting on Friday.
Sounds good. For me, Mr. Clark and I did meet with Mr. Goodlow concerning a problem. And tomorrow, Mr. Dullard and I will be at the veterans meeting, 9 o'clock in the morning. Is there anything from the crowd today? Okay, if not, Mr. Goodlow, would you inform us why we need to go into closed session?
I can sure try. The governmental body may hold a closed session only by affirmative vote, public vote of either 2/3 of the members of the body or all members or of all members present at the meeting. A governmental body may hold a closed session only to the extent a closed session is necessary for any of the following reasons. Today, that the reason is subsection I of 21.51 to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to the individual's reputation, and the individual requests a closed session, and that has been done.
Okay. Board. You like to go into closed session?
I would make a motion that we go into closed session.
Okay, Mr. Clark moves,
I'll second.
Levi seconds,
I don't think so. And even if we do it, it's not,
Nothing
Mr.
that we
Clark,
I don't think so.
Aye.
Levi.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Mr.
know.
Dollar?
You'll wait if I don't tell you that.
Right, I will.
Okay, we have voted to go into closed session, so session.
Appropriate to make a motion at this particular time, Mr.
I'm
Chair?
gonna open the door quick.
Okay.
Yeah, open door. Open door policy.
Open door.
Open door. Open the day.
I'm surprised Bill doesn't have a remote for that.
Don't give him any ideas.
Trying to save the county money.
Wait a minute, there's a push button over here. Oh.
Yeah.
Does it work?
We did find out
Does
it
it
works.
work?
It works. It does work.
Okay, we are now back in session at 10:17.
I would like to make a motion that January first, our county engineer's salary will go to 151,000, and will be subject to any increases we give other employees for the 2027 budget.
You know, if it increases or decreases.
Either one.
I'll
And
second.
also he'll, excuse me, sorry, Steve,
Okay,
to have an annual review.
and I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Dullard.
Aye,
Eli,
Well,
but you gotta give Kim first.
I say aye.
you say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Dullard says aye. Mr. Clark.
aye.
Levi.
Aye.
And Bill says aye.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we had a retirement last Friday.
Yes,
Have we replaced him or is that something that's in the books?
it's in the process right now. I've done a notice to internally, the rest of the Secretary of Road staff to see if somebody wanted to fill that position.
Okay,
If nobody comes forward, then I will do a public ad in the paper
okay,
advertising the position, probably as well as the county website.
okay.
What position is that?
Maybe a machine operator, motor grader.
I went to Mike Sexton's retirement cake eating party on Friday, so I think he was a pretty good employee,
Yes, it was very good.
so, you know, hard to replace those guys with that much experience, but I understand retirement, so sort of.
From what I've been told, he had over 40 years' experience down to be in Vista County.
Yes. Yeah.
So he brought a lot of knowledge in.
And then, well, where he graded the roads, I never had a complaint, so.
So yeah, we are actively looking for the replacement.
Is there anything else that needs to be discussed?
Yeah, I got one other thing real quick. I received, just while we were here, received an email from the new Third Judicial District coordinator. And I'll forward it all to you. They're wondering if our board would like to have them come do an introduction and kind of explain what they're doing down in Sioux City at the Third Judicial District.
Yes,
Yes?
yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will get, his name is, Mark Hovey. And, I will get a hold of Mark and see what works on his schedule to have him.
That's with court administration or with, Department of Corrections?
He's with Department of Corrections.
Right, yeah, no, I think it'd be good for him to come.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. No,
I just received that, so I thought I just will bring it up and,
I think it'd be good educational to explain if you have questions about what Department of Corrections does here within Dickinson County,
yeah.
which is quite a bit, so I think it'd be good.
And what they do down in Sioux City, you know, with the facilities they have down
Yeah,
there. So,
so it'd be great.
Did you say you wanted him on the agenda?
but,
Did you say you wanted him on the agenda?
well, I will have to get a hold of him and see what his schedule is and when he could possibly be here.
It'd be good.
Okay?
What were we supposed to take from the Doge report that you sent us?
Well, I just thought it was interesting if you had a Sunday afternoon where your football team wasn't playing, that maybe you would want to read through the governor's Doge report.
So there wasn't a section that you thought we should be?
Not really in particular, I just it's more informational than anything.
And I only had one person comment on that letter that I'm going to be sending out today, and I fixed it. instead of using the person's name, I said an employee of ours, so. Yeah, so that'll be going out today.
I responded this morning.
Yes, I saw
you
it.
see, okay.
I saw it. If there's nothing else, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Tim moves,
Second.
Mr. Clark seconds, further discussion. Hearing none. Tim,
Aye.
Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Levi.
Aye.
Mr. Dullard,
Aye.
and Bill is aye. We all wish you the best for.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that a
We're
lot.
pulling for you,
Appreciate that, you guys. Be good to get it done.
so.
Bella, did you notice last night, we only had one Stephen up here? One of
Yes,
the
sir.
board members kept calling another gentleman Stephen. I'm like, good Lord, we'd get away with it all. We'd do fine all the time. We got 3 Stevens up here in our meeting. Kept calling Doug,
Yes, sir.
Fireman.